What's up, guys? It's Brinks. So I wanted to give a little kind of summary, closing thoughts, first impressions, whatever, of Khameleon and how I think she works with Smoke. Just kind of going over how I think she's going to be. I think she's a really good cameo, but there's a big asterisk there. I'm not sure if she's going to be really good with Smoke. So she gives Smoke a lot of cool shit, specifically this fan lift move. This does a lot. If this cameo was this one move, she would be amazing. But because you have to switch and you can't control the switch, so you don't have access to all the moves at once, it is a lot harder because everything becomes way more situational. So one of the strongest things is she gives you a throw combo. Most of the cameos don't really give Smoke throw combos because his throw is weird. And if you cancel him out of it, the opponent gets flung back and you can't do anything. But the fan jump lets you do 16% off of a normal throw, which is pretty good. That's 5% more than normal. But the other cool thing is that you can spend the bar and get almost 22%. That is very substantial, especially off of a throw. And you tend to get a lot of throws depending on how your opponent deals with your cancel pressure. So that is already strong on its own. And then another thing that I think is the other really strong aspect of Khameleon and the fan lift itself is if you mess up a cancel, you can just kind of get out of there. And it works as kind of like an eject button for when you do something too unsafe. There's likely counterplay to this, but it's probably really character specific and they have to really be ready for it. It's not a slow option and you can control the distance you go from it. You can go far or you can go close. So you can even potentially do it into like more pressure depending on what they do after. If they try to mash because they see you messed up a cancel and then you launch over them, you could potentially punish them. But as you saw when I just did the Molina Sai, it only works if you have the katana form, and you obviously can't control when that happens. So that makes it a lot less great of an option just because you don't always have access to it. But it's still really strong, and I think that's the other strongest aspect of the character. You also get cool extensions. Like, you get a ton of combo extensions with Khameleon, because you can do stuff like that, and combo off of the Shadow Blade. You can do meterless teleport into, or metered teleport into regular teleport. You kind of get the fan lift to launch you just like a regular EX, or like an EX teleport, which lets you obviously do more air moves. So that's really cool, and you get really good damage from it. The problem is, if you're in the katana form, you're going to change forms by the time you need it. Like when you get to that part of the combo, you're going to run out of, or not run out, you're going to end up switching to Jade or Molina. The order is always the same. You always go from katana to Molina to Jade. You can kind of control the switch with this move. You can see the recharge is really fast, and it's an ambush. So I could be doing a combo and call the ambush to line up the form to be what I need at the end of the combo. But that's obviously not going to be simple. So I think the usefulness of this cameo, especially with Smoke, is going to come down to how well people can manage that resource and kind of play on the fly with which form you have access to. Because the other forms don't give you as much utility as the katana fan lift one. The Jade dagger lets you do anything you want after a hit confirm, and you can go invisible just while it's coming in. It's also like mega plus on block, so that's always useful to have. Like, it's +3 on the way out and plus a billion on the way back. There's probably a gap there that you can do they can do something, but still, you can also do something in that gap. So it's not like a Serena Knives where you're kind of stuck in the animation the whole time. It's like a low hat where as soon as you throw it, you're actionable. And that's really good. So that's really good for combos. It's really good for pressure. Or at least it's decent for pressure. I don't know if it's really good, but it's not a Motaro tail shot or an old low hat or anything. The projectile shield that Jade gives you, I think, is cool. That'll be the same utility as the Sub-Zero one, Sub-Zero armor. Except Jade's is duration based. It seems like it's about 5 seconds. The Molina Sai is like a Sonya square wave. So you get like standard combo extensions from that, which is cool. It's just like, that's not super significant of a reason to pick the cameo. Like, you can do stuff like that, like that's really good damage. So if you're trying to go for like a fan lift extension and then you end up switching before you're ready for it, that's fine. You can kind of like go on the fly. You have to dash before you do that link. But so you have options. It's not fully universal, but there is a little bit of a, like the combo extensions, at least you can get similar things with all three of them. Just the main difference is that Jade doesn't give you any air stuff. Because the Jade Glaive, you can only do that when you're on the ground and not in the middle of something. So yeah, this will be whatever. It gives you half damage on the next move that you block or get hit by, but you still take the you still get knocked away. So it still interrupts stuff. It's maybe like just a side bonus if you're trying to spend the resource to switch stances. Maybe you can get something from that, and it could save you around potentially if you need to tank a hit or you're going to get chipped out. It might save you, so it's not worthless, at least, and the recharge is really good. But otherwise, like the main other thing with Katana that's not with the fan lift, in the corner your forward 1-2 1+3 goes into a restand, a really plus restand, and that gives you a guaranteed forward 3, or well, it jails into forward 3 or your forward 1-2. Even though it gives you a strike throw mix up there, Khameleon is still on the screen for a while, so you can't really forward throw them. You get the cameo shove, unfortunately. If they know about the setup, they're going to be able to tech back throw, because that's where you're going to want to throw them so you can get the full throw damage. But you obviously lose the corner unless your Katana doesn't run out after the fan toss. Then you can do the side switch from the fan toss throw at least. Molina stance gives you an overhead that obviously launches. The only problem is the overhead is not safe. It is -17. It has a little bit of pushback full screen, but it's not enough pushback. Sub-Zero can punish that with his 15 frame forward 1. It does give you a true 50-50 because the move is 18 frame startup. No one's reacting to that online. Most people are not reacting to that offline. So it could be a good YOLO thing to go for if you need to make a clutch comeback. Otherwise, it's whatever. It's a thing, I guess, that you can do. It misses, like the ball roll doesn't combo off of this. Yeah, it just supports how situational a lot of aspects of this cameo are. And I think the viability of her, especially with Smoke, is really going to come down to how well you can play around all of the different switching and really anticipate when it's going to be the one you need. So yeah, that's generally my thought. I could go more in depth, but I just wanted to kind of give an overall rundown of what I'm thinking so far. Maybe new stuff will get discovered in the coming days. I'm going to keep trying her. I think she gives more to Sub-Zero than she gives to Smoke, but this video is about Smoke and Chameleon. So obviously you get a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool combo extensions. You get throw combos with the fan lift, you get an eject button with the fan lift, and a restand with the fan toss, mix up with the ball roll, and then you get this cool invisible setup with the glaive, or you can just do it into like basically a typical Serena combo would work there. So yeah, good cameo, pretty decent with Smoke, maybe not as viable as Sector, Kung Lao, Striker, Sub-Zero, etc. It's too early to say for sure, but that's what I'm thinking so far. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this kind of more off the cuff, just kind of first impressions rundown, I might do these for future cameos. I will definitely do something like this for Ermac. I am super excited for him, but otherwise, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like and or comment if you have any thoughts, or if you want to have a conversation about any of the things I said, or pitch ideas, or maybe you've discovered something that goes against some of what I've said. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching. Later.